Where are you really from? It's a common conversation I have with strangers. They ask, where are you from? And I reply, I grew up in Orlando, Florida. And they'll follow it with, but where are you really from? I think this question is often asked with well-intentioned curiosity as a way to connect or get to know me more, but it's also one of the most common forms of experienced racial microaggressions among Asian Americans. It can quickly turn into a conversation that makes Asian Americans feel perpetually foreign. I'm Brandon Yu, an associate professor at ASU. My research and teaching focuses on Asian American psychology and mental health. So what is the perpetual foreigner stereotype? What psychological impact does a sense of belonging have on Asian Americans? And how can those affected cope with these challenges? Let's talk about it. Going back to my story, if I decide to share that I'm Korean American, this usually leads to more questions. North or South Korean? Can I say something in Korean? Have I been to this Korean city? Or they'll compliment me on my really good English. Particularly for US-born Asian Americans, conversations like this can often be stressful as an experience of racial microaggression, of identity denial. Because with each question and assumption, the underlying message is that I cannot be American, that we, as Asians, do not belong. This is also referred to as the perpetual foreigner stereotype, or when Asians in America are assumed to be foreign and do not belong, regardless of their citizenship, generational status, or length of residency in the US. But this stereotype isn't new. Historically, Asians have always been depicted as the Oriental, an alien body that threatens the American national family. But it's important to recognize that it's not only a lazy stereotype, but it's a caricature that's been used repeatedly to rationalize and justify violence, labor exploitation, and exclusionary practices. To name a few, in 1882, there was a Chinese Exclusion Act which led to a 10-year ban of Chinese laborers moving to the United States. During World War II, Japanese Americans were forced into incarceration camps. And in 2020, there was a rise in anti-Asian hate crimes during the COVID-19 pandemic. Each time enforcing that Asians pose a threat to Americans and that we do not belong. Empirical research shows that Asian Americans who experience a perpetual foreigner stereotype are linked to higher rates of depression, anxiety, interpersonal conflicts, and lower self-esteem, life satisfaction, and social connectedness. I believe that education and community are the best way to cope with or begin to challenge any notion that we don't belong. When you learn that Asian Americans have contributed to the American society well before this country was founded, all while facing discrimination, you can see the value of who we are. When you learn about how your ancestors like Wong Art Kim, Fred Korimatsu, Larry Itilong, Grace Lee Boggs, Yuri Kochiyama fought to make resources and spaces for us and for others who are marginalized by resisting and challenging systems of inequity and invisibility, you can see the value of what we can do together. At ASU, there are many spaces and ways to get involved, including many Asian student organizations or classes and research led by faculty in the Asian Pacific American Studies program. If you're interested in learning more about the Asian American experience or topics related to Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders, check out the School of Social Transformation at ASU.